ESPN's lead NBA insider just revealed the trade price for Giannis Antetokounmpo, which has major implications for the New York Knicks moving forward, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Knicks Basketball 365. If you are a New York Knicks fan, please hit that subscribe button. Only 6% of viewers are subscribed to the channel, and it really helps me out a ton. Now, we know the New York Knicks' number one offseason priority for when we get there, but it's impossible not to look at it already, is Giannis Antetokounmpo, acquiring him via trade from the Milwaukee Bucks. We've heard big time asks from the Milwaukee Bucks. They want all your young players, all your draft picks, and we now finally have heard concrete an offer sent to the Milwaukee Bucks and what they actually declined, which tells us that the real price for Giannis is even higher. Coming from ESPN's Shams Charania, team sources say the Bucks seriously considered the Heat's offer, which centered on Tyler Hero, Kyle Ware, other players, and multiple draft picks and pick swaps. Milwaukee contemplated moving forward with Miami on February 4th. Ownership, however, believed the best move would be to hold on to Antetokounmpo and receive better offers in the summer. The Bucks informed the Heat on the morning of February 5th that they would not accept the deal. So we are hearing that the Bucks' asking price for Giannis is astronomical, and this certainly sounds like this confirms that. They are asking for a frankly unrealistic price, which I am very surprised that it is me instead of, of anyone who's coming out and saying that the price for Giannis is far too high, because I've been pounding the table for Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Knicks. He is the piece that, combining it with Jalen Brunson, can put the New York Knicks organization over the top, can make us favorites in the East, and give us a team that can compete with the San Antonio Spurs or the Oklahoma City Thunder come the NBA Finals time. However, if a package of Tyler Hero, Kyle Ware, who was a first-round pick a couple of years ago, one of the best three-point shooting centers in the NBA, plus more players, more picks, which we are thinking at least one or two first-round picks, probably only one, because if it was more than that, they would have had to accept that deal. And then more pick swaps on top of that. And the Milwaukee Bucks said no to that. Now, I understand Tyler Hero, he turned 26 this January. So whether or not you would consider that as a young player is up to you. I would say that is directly on the line of what you would consider a young player. Young player would really be like 18 to maybe 24, 25. So 26, that's where you would consider mid-age player, although Tyler Hero is a very, very good basketball player, one of those tall guards that is becoming more coveted by the NBA as the years go on. Add to that a floor spacing center who can be your next Miles Turner after Miles Turner moves on from the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a big-time offer for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it scares the Knicks, because if that's what the asking price for Giannis is, that is a very, very difficult price for us to match, and is in fact a trade that we can not match in a two-team deal. Now, that's not especially a problem, because we know that, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, that should the New York Knicks be getting a trade done for Giannis Antetokounmpo, it will have to be a 3, 4, or maybe even 5-team deal to get it done. Now, we also know that Leon Rose and the New York Knicks front office will be aggressive enough and active enough in the trade market to go find other suitors and other teams who can help us make this work. We heard the Orlando Magic was a team that can make this work, and we heard there were also other teams who were willing to assist in this trade with the New York Knicks and the Milwaukee Bucks. However, there are big contracts. One of the 3 big contracts from the Knicks who are not Jalen Brunson will have to go in the trade, either Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns, or OG Anunoby. Now, trading OG Anunoby would make the most sense if we were doing a 2-team deal, which is likely not something that's going to happen. OG Anunoby was on the All-NBA defensive team this year and a very, very quality defender, really the perfect role player in the modern NBA. Elite defender, knocks down his open threes. Mikal Bridges is the piece that Knicks fans want to trade, and for good reason. Mikal Bridges has not lived up to expectations of what we were hoping for when we traded him to the Brooklyn Nets, or when we traded first-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets to acquire Mikal Bridges, and it's been a problem for us. But the thing with Mikal Bridges, we've seen him be a really, really good player, pretty much everywhere else he's been other than the New York Knicks. So we have it on good authority that Mikal Bridges can still be a great player in the right situation, or maybe not even the right situation, maybe just a normal situation, now that we are seeing that the New York Knicks are, for whatever reason, not the right situation for him. Playing with his college buddies somehow doesn't work out. Not exactly sure how that happens. Maybe it's a Mike Brown thing. Maybe it's a playing at Madison Square Garden in front of a big crowd thing. Maybe it's just a New York Knicks team fit with Mikal Bridges, but he's not been working out, which is, an understatement for what he has been so far with the New York Knicks. Now, trading Karl-Anthony Towns is by far the most realistic option for the New York Knicks, as Cat brings something to the table that a lot of teams are looking for, which is a center who can shoot the three at a high percentage. Very, very rare, even in today's modern NBA, where three-point shots and three-point shooting big men are becoming more and more common. But we're going to have to figure out some way to get this thing done. Likely it will be Karl-Anthony Towns when, and I think it is at least somewhat likely, better than 50%, that Giannis Antetokounmpo will be a New York Knick come this next offseason. Giannis definitely going to be traded, as we are seeing as the months go by. The situation behind the scenes gets worse and worse and worse, and we are getting to the point where the Milwaukee Bucks, they just have to trade Giannis, and that's great for anyone who wants to buy him because it is lowering the asking price for Giannis, because as teams refuse to come up to this exorbitant original asking price of the Milwaukee Bucks, it makes it more and more realistic that a trade can go down. So excited to see that happening. But something else that I'm excited for when it comes to the New York Knicks is this big game tonight. Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks. The Celtics have the opportunity to clinch the second seed in the East with either one more Celtics win or one more Knicks loss. Tonight, the Knicks have the opportunity to make sure that neither one of those things happen with a victory at the Garden. Tickets extremely expensive, as you may have guessed. The Boston Celtics are currently the favorite to come out of the East. However, ESPN analytics actually make the New York Knicks the favorite to win tonight in what I'm sure will be a highly, highly entertaining game, as Jason Tatum returns to the Garden, the scene of his Achilles injury. I hate the Boston Celtics, but as a Duke basketball fan, I am happy to see Jason Tatum back playing basketball on the basketball court and at the NBA level. But hoping for a Knick win tonight. Will absolutely be glued to my TV screen. Should be a fantastic game. This Boston Knicks rivalry getting renewed over the past 2 seasons. We are likely going to be earning the 3 seed and seeing the 2-seeded Boston Celtics in the second round of the playoffs. That should be a ton of fun. That's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Knicks.